Around to the turn lane, George came over and had that big 357 he always carried. He pulled that gun out and he said, if you can't keep that front tire on the ground, he said, I'm going to do it for you.
Killer Mike right here rolling with Clay Milliken, one of the greatest racers in the world, and he's moving faster down this track than me at Walmart looking for Hot Wheels.
All right, folks, I am going on an adventure today. Got the brand new Fatheads ready to go. We are headed to Paragould, Arkansas. Pretty cool place we're going to take you to today. Let's have some fun. All right, folks, a little over 2 hours from the house, we have made our way to George Rays Wildcat Dragstrip. So cool. Look, George's house right there. Apparently he's got a pet pig. George has passed away a few years ago, y'all, but this place is literally in his backyard. So cool. I remember coming here as a kid with Mom and Daddy, Tracy Lee. Eventually me and Donna actually came over here, and George actually flagged you off. It was a flag start. Very, very old school. We've been over here early in the mornings and helped him get the cows off the racetrack. It's pretty cool. So we're setting in line, waiting to get in. Why, hello there.
Well, hi, how are you?
I am good.
Good deal.
Beautiful day today. Happy
Gorgeous,
4th.
I'm telling you. I don't think I've ever seen a 4th this pretty.
It is awesome. Not too hot. It is fantastic.
Most time they're raining. Most time they're raining on the 4th.
I know.
I think so. 8:10.
Is it Miss Georgia Ray?
Bonnie.
Bonnie Ray. Is she here today by chance? Is that you?
That is me.
I'm going to pull over and I'm going to come back and talk to you.
All righty. You're welcome to do so.
You might take a peep at that name I just wrote on there and you'll know why.
Oh, you did.
That was pretty cool. All right. Billy the Kid, Bill Smith Racing. Old 55 Chevrolet. Old school. That is really cool. Big old tires up under that bad boy. Oh yeah. It has got an extra pedal in there, y'all. That is cool. Definite old school. I love it. All right, y'all. I am here with Tyler. Is it Tyler Ray or no?
Russell.
Tyler Russell.
Yes, sir.
So this is George Ray's grandson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you now run this place.
I do, proudly.
So how long you been taking care of this place?
Man, I've been helping Grandpa my whole life. You know, I was blessed to grow up out here. I'm 30 now. This is my 2nd year on my own. You know, Grandma, she still helps. Runs a ticket booth, you know, and it's a big family affair, man. And it's just fun for everybody.
Heck
you know?
yeah.
And it don't cost an arm and a leg to come race here, you know.
Well, I've been dying to come over and had the weekend off. I'm like, I gotta come show up.
Man, I'm glad you come. I am.
So Miss Bonnie had sent me a message to come.
Did she? Cool. She's helped me a lot in life, man.
That's what they do.
That's what they do, man. I could never repay her for what she's done.
So what do you got going this weekend? It's 4th of July weekend.
Man, this weekend we're just doing our normal index racing. You know, we have classes from 9.0, 8.50, 8.0, all the way down to 6.0. And you know, holidays are usually kind of slow. Everybody's doing stuff.
Everybody's at the house cooking out.
Yeah. So we just have normal index racing like we do every Sunday. You know, here about once a month, you know, we'll have 1,000 to win 7.0, 1,000 to win 6.0. You know, we try to swap it up, keep everybody running for big money, you know, because man, we pay $1,000 here in 7.0, we'll have 30 cars running for it, you know, and it's just, it puts on a good show.
Absolutely.
it's the best heads-up racing you'll find around here, I guarantee you.
Well, I love it. I know you got to get to work.
Man, I appreciate you coming down.
You
brother.
bet, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Getting in a fight, George pulled a gun on him.
Hey, one time, this is a true story, man. I was probably this tall. I wasn't that old, but this guy had a Nova, and he liked to spray a lot of nitrous, you know. It's on a small tire back then. And well, anyway, Grandpa told him, he said, don't come out here and spray that car. He said, I don't want you wrecking. He said, all right, George. He said, I won't do it. Well, he come up here, sprayed it all over the track, you know. I watched him. That fence right there, he jumped right over that fence, went over, opened the guy's car door, said, hey buddy, don't bring that car back out here ever again. And that guy never brought that car back out.
Ain't nobody gonna jack with George.
I was out here on a cross tracker one day. I had an 02 R6. It was stretched, and I took off on it and rode me about a half-track wheelie. And, you know, I was running like 660s on it. Wasn't nothing special. Come back around to the turn lane. George came over and had that big 357 he always carried. He pulled that gun out, and he said, if you can't keep that front tire on the ground, he said, I'm gonna do it for you.
That's what he did.
I got him done racing today.
That's what he did, the old boy in the Nova. He pulled that pistol out and he said, boy, don't you ever bring that car back. And he said, after Grandpa died, you know, he said, Tyler, he said, I really did think your grandpa would have shot me if I'd have brought that car back. He said, so I figured I never would have.
The best thing that ever happened out here, though, was that those two boys got in that fight, and George went and broke it up. You know, he pulled his little gun, told them that they ain't fighting. George liked that gun because he didn't like conflict. Well, they got into it about right there, and it was those two guys and about 6 of their buddies confronted George, and they were mad at George for pulling a gun on him. And George, being as hard-headed as he could, they're all eye to eye, and George is ready to fight, thinking he's fixing to take on about 6 dudes. Come time to fight, and those dudes just turned around and walked off. George thought they were terrified of him, didn't really know what was going on. Turned around, there's about 200 people standing behind George waiting on a fight.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna mess with
He
him.
never had to worry about a fight out here.
No. I never saw anything cross. You know what I mean? It was.
People are a little different now. It gets a little bit more out of hand sometimes.
Right.
I mean, we have had fights out here, but back in the day when George was around, he pulled like he ain't gonna shoot you 9 times out of 10.
Right.
Like, that one time he's going, but he'll pistol whip. Well, I've seen he pistol whip some people out here. He would. He pull that dang gun out, turn that sucker upside down, and beat somebody with it like a damn animal. He weren't messing around at his track. He was no frills, no shows, no stupid shit. You pull up, you drag race, you go do your thing.
Yep.
Anything beyond that was not allowed.
I always learned, because when he was flagging back then, he would look at both of you, and then when he looked back, it's time to go.
Oh yeah.
Now you said you was 39, so did you ever get to run with him flagging or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I was around, whenever I come around, George's getting on in his years. Whenever Tyler's got the dragster, it's up front. I was around long enough to get a ride in it before George got to where he really couldn't do a whole lot of it.
Right.
Tyler was young whenever I started coming out here, but Tyler was just learning everything. And whenever we raced, it was to the point where everybody helped George.
Yeah.
You know, they had Scott was up in the tower, but everybody was helping out George. So.
Sure. He's a legend. We're going to do a little walk around here at George Rays. This place is so awesome. A couple of Mustangs sitting over there. Somebody running their little S10, maybe even running their Toyota. Heck, I don't know. Very, very much the way they used to do it. I love it. Like I say, used to come here all the time. Cool little Vega, nice Nova. Everybody gets under the shade, grabs the shade up. Old 55 over there. Camaro. Whew, a dark swinger. Nova. It's just awesome. I love these old racetracks like this. It's really cool to come back out here and see it again. A lot of great people. Another Camaro. Man, the 55s are out over here. It's a clean 55 right there. Rear battery. Bel Air. Man, look how clean this thing is. That is nice. Nice, nice, nice. Delay box, full seat. That is awesome. I love the 55s. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Just making my way around. Y'all got the not the hot spot, the good spot.
Yeah, it starts out in the sun, by the time it's all fit, we end up in the shade. So.
All right, everybody's lined up for round one. I think this is the 7-0 class. So 7-0, you don't want to go quicker than that. George Rays Wildcat Dragstrip. It don't get much more old school than this right here, y'all. So cool. Love it.
You go, I'm gonna catch you.
Yeah, I'm gonna run after you. Nice meeting you too, buddy.
We just pray God to put the angels over you and protect you, okay?
Every day.
I'm the preacher that's up there.
I heard your prayer. It was very good. Thank you.
16 years of it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Still got a 536.
536 on this track. That's pretty fast. So Tyler, I told you earlier, I got invited by Miss Bonnie.
Sir.
And so I brought her a little present.
That's awesome.
And that is a bobblehead of me. I think it looks like Bill Clinton myself, but at any rate, I wanted to bring you something. Tyler,
Man, that's
got you a
awesome.
hero card.
Oh, how cute. That is so,
See, it looks like Bill Clinton.
It does.
It does. It looks like Bill
It don't
Clinton.
look like you.
That is
It
awesome.
doesn't look like me. Just my fire suit.
You're better looking than that.
That's why. Thank you. So I brought y'all both one, and I brought one for the racetrack.
Well,
Man,
thank
that
you.
is awesome.
I've got a book here for you. It's got an article about the drag strip in it.
Oh, awesome.
And that was Steve Knox done
Very
that.
cool.
I thought you might want to read that.
I would absolutely love to read
and
that.
more anything.
Yeah, he was content with what he had.
I mean, he was from that generation you just worked.
He was the only person I believe I've ever met that never wanted for anything. He had what he wanted, and he was satisfied.
And if he wanted something, by golly, he would get it.
Well, yeah, if he wanted it.
You know,
If he
would-
wanted it bad
He
enough,
would
yeah.
make it happen, you know.
But he didn't buy new things. He didn't buy new cars, and you know, he had bought old ones. I know when he and I first married, he bought me this old ugly yellow car.
Some earlier, I was probably the only kid my age that went to school in a 77 Nova.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I didn't mind the 77 Nova so bad, but that old yellow one, remember it?
Yeah, that was rough.
My daughter would hide in the back seat.
They won't be seen in it.
No, she didn't want to be seen in. I said, well, let me tell you something, honey. This is paper.
Exactly.
Don't owe any payments on it.
Yep, exactly.
It didn't bother me, but it bothered her to ride in it. She was just embarrassed. Just embarrassed her.
Well, I think it's really cool that y'all are just keeping this going. I mean, I grew up in a little tiny grocery store, and my
It's
grandfather's.
about tradition.
Yeah, you know.
He loves it. He just really loves it. And it gets hard because there's times we don't make a whole lot.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
But he really does enjoy it, and I do too. This has been the best job I've ever had in my life. I can be my own boss.
Exactly. And you can still tell him what to do.
I do sometimes.
She's a boss.
I try to be I try to, you know, instruct him in how to do things. You know,
Right.
not really be bossy, but I do have the reputation of being bossy.
But you tell you though, man, I ain't never wanted to do nothing else but run a drag strip.
Well, that's
It's
awesome.
just,
I mean, that's fantastic.
it is.
Obviously, I love it.
Not everybody has that opportunity in
Yep.
life. You know, it's just something you just blessed.
And not everybody likes it, you know.
Blessed to have.
Not everybody's
Yep.
cup of
But
tea.
you know how racing gets to be your world, man. I mean, if I didn't have cars in my life, I wouldn't.
I don't know what I'd do either.
I don't know what I would do, man. I really don't.
I don't either.
Every friend I got has to do with a hot rod.
Yep.
It seems like, you know.
Me too.
Sure
Me
is.
too.
And you never meet a stranger. Man, you
Nope.
can go to California, you know, and just,
You'll run into car people, and you
Yeah.
got something in common.
Yeah. You know, like you travel with a George Race shirt on, man. People's like, man, I seen that on TV, you know, or such and such. And
Well,
man,
it's amazing how many people you'll meet that say they want to come here, and then
Yes.
they're amazed that I'm like, well, I used to race there all the time, you know.
Man, when you did your podcast, it's probably been a couple months ago. You had mentioned, you know, I was telling you about. You had mentioned George Race.
Yep.
Man, I couldn't tell you how many people that like, hey, Clay, mention the track, you know.
Yep.
And
It'll probably get mentioned this Tuesday night as well, because I
I'll
talk
be-
about what I do during the week.
I'll
So
be tuning in for sure.
Yep.
I'll be tuning in. Man, I gotta get down here and
Yep.
start racing.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
brother.
get to the house, Miss Bonnie. It was awesome. Thank you for the
It was so
hospitality.
good to see you, darling.
I had a blast today. Thank you.
Thanks, darling. Appreciate you so much.
Have a safe
Don't
trip,
forget
man.
now,
Yep. Thank y'all.
We do want to talk to you about signing autographs.
So this is Mr. George's dragster right here. This thing is
455 Oldsmobile.
455, and I can remember him taking a lap or two up and down through the track on this thing.
Yes, sir. He built it. When he originally built it, it was titled and tagged as a 57 Oldsmobile because that's what he got the motor, transmission, and rear end out of. It's still to this day registered as a 57 Olds.
No kidding.
Yep.
Y'all check this thing out. It's so cool. And I'm assuming Mr. George built this right over there in that garage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He built that a couple years after he started the track.
That's
Yes, sir.
awesome.
He run a salvage yard business before he did this, and you know, so he was always, you know, he was always into hot rods,
Right.
you know, and they had their little group from here would drive over to Halls, Tennessee,
Yep.
and run back then.
My daddy used to race there.
Really?
Yep.
Well, Grandpa said, he said, I just got tired of the way they treated us Arkansas
Yep.
guys over there, you know. He said, I told him one day, he said, I'm gonna go home and build me a drag strip. They said, George, you're crazy. He said, yeah, there ain't no way you're gonna do that. By golly, he come home, started buying some land, and little by little, you know, he built what he's got now.
Poured some concrete, been here since 61.
October 61.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. He run his first race.
That is awesome. So I'm assuming you get this thing out and ride it every now and
Yeah,
then.
I do, yes. Yes.
Tyler, it has been an awesome day, buddy.
Pleasure, bud.
I know
Come
you
back
got.
anytime.
I
Yes,
will
sir.
be. I know you got a race to run, and
Sir.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome here any day of the week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, folks. What a fun day right here at Mr. George Rays Wildcat Dragstrip. Historic place. Had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, all those things. And go check out your local small drag strip. They're awesome, great people there, nothing but fun. George Rays Wildcat Dragstrip. Bye, Miss Bonnie.